Get out!
Hello tankers and tankettes, welcome to a Bert replay. It's going to be some Bert power. This is actually, as of recording this, I had this match only yesterday at the tail end of Circon's epic 36-hour stream. This was actually my very first match of the day as well, so not only was it when Circon was, I think he'd been up for about 32 hours at this point, it was around that kind of mark, 31 hours, 32 hours, might have even been slightly before that. It was my very first match of the day, and I don't think I'd played, I might not have even played it entirely the day before either, so it was my first match for like over 24 hours or something. So yes, the Bert, the FV304, which is basically a derp ELC. It's a bit slower than the ELC, but not that much slower. My initial thought is I'm going to go and support this flank. We're bottom tier, so, you know, I don't have much range, but I've got the speed. But no one's going this way, really, apart from a single Tiger P. So I'm going to turn around, go and support Circon, who's in the KV2, and Foch, who is in the Lux. And hopefully there will be some stuff to shoot at on that flank, which won't involve unnecessarily exposing myself, rather. I know what I mean. Because this doesn't have much hit points. But mind you, if it had more hit points, it would probably go slower, because all those hit points just slow you down, right? Right? That's how it works? Yeah, sure, that must be how it works. So I'm just gonna zoom across here. I know I'm just desperately extemporizing at this point. There's Circon is KV2. And yes, there is going to be stuff to shoot at, so that's fine. The gun arc on the Bert's pretty good. It's fast firing, it's got pretty good accuracy for an artillery, but it has pretty close to zero splash damage. So you have to hit whatever it is you're aiming at dead on, and you have to just accept that you're not going to do much damage even when you do hit them dead on. So that was a total snapshot. Of course it went wild, of course it did, but there's stuff I can hit here. There's stuff that isn't behind the rock, which is good, because that rock is... how dare that rock be there? It's just there to spoil my fun, clearly. Wow, I'm really getting into the mind of an artillery player, aren't I? I'm actually up to tier 8 on the British arty line now. I've gone through the Crusader SP, which I didn't enjoy terribly much. I had one or two okay matches in it, but for the most part, no, I really didn't enjoy it. I've now got the FV304, which is I've had for like a day, 2 days. In fact, I think I unlocked it the day when I actually had this match, and I have since bought it, and it's still got that 5.5-inch gun, which is not... It's better on the FV than it is on the Crusader SP, but not by that much. It's got a fast rate of fire, doesn't do much damage, but at least it's got a marginally better gun arc. I don't quite feel like a terrible scumbag when playing it yet, because it's a very hard gun to do large amounts of damage with, and it's very hard to... The number of times I've penetrated somebody with an HE shell from that gun and actually rolled for full damage. Mostly I do like 400 damage, 300, wow, that one actually bounced off the Tiger one there. So, like, comparable amounts of damage to the Bert. Slightly more, but not, like, hugely more. Just fire, and 41. You can see how little splash this thing has. 6-4, we're doing okay at the moment. 6-5, okay. This is a bit of a closely fought fight. Oh, the enemy GW Tiger P just ruined Circon's day. Yeah, well, tier 8 arty will do that when it's not stock, as mine is. I'm sure when I get the big gun, I'll probably properly feel like a scumbag, but the only way to get that British, that UK technical mastery badge is to play the artillery as well, so there it is. So there's an Ashorn just sitting kind of more or less in the open. I let that one fly quite early, not very well aimed, but I don't know if he's going to move or not because he's not actively being spotted right now. However, this flank is now, I mean, it's swung the other way, 6-8. This was a bruising match, and it's not even at the 5-minute mark, and look how many of each team is dead. So there is actually quite a big potential to still influence this match, even though I'm just in a lowly Bert. So that T20 is now all alone. Lux is going in for the Lux Sir Lux in his Foch, or Sir Foch in his Lux, you know, delete as appropriate. He's going in for the kill as well, and he's in a much better position to actually fire. But then the IS-3 actually gets the kill anyway, so never mind, neither of us got it. I'm going to move up and support this flank. My range means I really have to. You see, the range on this thing is it just gets to the render range, and there's a Hellcat, and I don't think I can hit him. No, the gun arc isn't quite good enough. He finishes off the IS-3, but at least the IS-3 gets a hit into him. I just try a shot anyway, I don't know what I was thinking there. I'm guessing I'm spotted, I'm guessing they know where I am, but I don't know for sure. That Hellcat's being cautious though, because I've got a prop next to me. Foch is still alive as well, but we know there's a Rheinmetall up on the hill. Oh, wow, that GW Tiger P, that's got some kind of kick to it. So this is fairly bad. The Hellcat could pop round my back any moment, but there's a Nashorn, and I'm going to have to just take a risk and ignore the Hellcat briefly and hope that he doesn't pop out. And there's the Nashorn. I'm going to fully aim this one. This is an important one to actually get. So I fire. Nails him. He's on fire. And can I get the kill? Can I? No, because because Foch ninjas it in his Lux. Oh well, I did some damage there though. That was all right. Still wary of this Hellcat. I'm actually going to see if I can go TD mode on the Hellcat, because that's one of the things the Bert is actually a lot better at than a lot of artillery, because it's just got that speed. And, uh-oh. Well, Foch just spotted Rheinmetall. Yes, I could probably hit the Rheinmetall, and yes, my shell might do full damage, but look how much health he's got, so I'm just actually going to get the hell out of here, because he would just kill me. I might get 400, 500 hit points if I'm really lucky, but chances are that, yeah, unless I like ammo racked him or something, I'm not going to take that chance. Anyway, Foch has retreated across the river, but he's just been nailed by the Hellcat. It's now me, our GW Tiger P, and a VK4502A who's completely pinned down. I'm not actually sure if he is even really pinned down, he's just yes, that's a bridge, Jedi. Well done. That's a bridge. But he's just sat there. The enemy knows where he is. He's not manoeuvring for position. He's not trying to throw them off or anything. And that Tiger 2's just closed on him, knowing where he was. So that wasn't the best play from that VK. I'm going to go and try and help him though, because aside from the GW Tiger P, he's our last remaining tank. So he's hiding behind a rock at least. I just need this Tiger 2 to poke out. He's still got quite a lot of health. But if I can help chip away at it, maybe I'll track him and our arty will get him. And no, it lands close. Doesn't actually do anything. I've almost certainly been spotted from firing because, well, why wouldn't I have been? I was very close to those bushes. Fire and track the guy. 100 damage. He fires and misses. Boom! That was a big shot from the GW Tiger P, and he's just reloading, but so am I. Boom! There we go. Bert power. This thing is so much fun when you go TD mode, when you get this opportunity to stretch your legs and just go running around a battlefield. Of course, if you do, it usually means the situation is you're either crushing the enemy team really badly, at which point you can just join in the fray and have some fun, or else it's this kind of really knife-edge situation where it could tip the balance either way, and if you just sit there and try and play as an artillery, you're probably going to be able to do less than if you pretend to be a scout tank. So we see where the Rheinmetall is. Our other arty's probably going to die very shortly. I'm thinking at this point, okay, the Hellcat might still be up here. He's low health. I can one-shot the Hellcat unless I get incredibly unlucky. But Circon and Foch is saying to me, you should go after the arty. And then we see the enemy Hellcat actually finishes off the GW Tiger P. So, at this point I know that the Hellcat is nowhere near where he was, so I might as well just go hunt down their arty. And lo and behold, there's an SU-8, so I'll just poke around this rock. Get my gun on target. Didn't fully aim, but hey, he was now looking in my direction. And there's a rock in between us. There's also another artillery. So my thought is I'll back out of his immediate spotting range, out that 50-meter spotting radius, and then I'll rush him. But I kind of bodge it, to be honest. I mean, I go backwards. I'm still spotted by him. He's still spotted by me. That's LVK down. And he's only just disappeared, but he knows what I'm going to do. But I get lucky there. I just come round and fire on the move. Bam. He's down. Okay, it's now me versus 3 other tanks. I don't know what state the Rhymetoll is in. He was full health last time I saw him. Hellcat I know I can take. And there's also the GW Tiger P, which I'm going to go hunting for now, because the Hellcat's probably on his way back, but I've got a little bit of time to play with, because he's almost certainly going to climb that hill and try and snipe from there. So I have a suspicion that GW's over here somewhere, and yes, there he is. I spot him. So let's move in. He could very definitely wreck me with a splash, but he's not really trying to turn. And oh, okay, the Hellcat's back. He's not even trying to turn, he was just trying to make a run for it and hope that the Hellcat can protect him. So I get a shot in, but it goes into his rear lower armour there. It doesn't actually go into that empty space behind the gun, which might have nailed him for full health. So I'm just going to whiz after him. I think the Hellcat fires and misses again. I fire and miss, and I didn't want to stop though. Stopping would have been suicidal. He stops. I bump into him, but the thing is, he's forcing me out of cover, so I take a shot from the Hellcat. He's down, though! He's down! Okay, adrenaline's going. I've got very little health to work with. The Hellcat I know I can take, but he has to come for me. Oh, wait. GG. Full health Rhymetoll. Yeah. No. If the Rhymetoll had been, like, really low health, maybe, but he went through that match without losing a single hit point, so that was kind of inevitable that it would go like that, but unfortunately it did go like that. It couldn't be helped. I did my best, and it was still damn entertaining for all involved, I think. So let's take a quick look at the scores. I actually got top scorer of our team there, which was actually pretty nice. I had 728 raw XP on a defeat. I was actually 3rd overall out of everybody. Both teams with 1700 damage, and I also got 1677 assistance, so I got just over 1700 actual damage and just under 1700 assistance damage, which is all tracking, I think. 23 shots fired, only actually 11 hits, so that was not bad, but it just shows you this gun's very fast firing, but it's pretty weak. Also nearly 5 kilometers driven, so you know, there's the power of Bert. But the enemy team, you know, kudos to those. The Hellcat and the Rhymetoll kept their head at the end, and the Hellcat did very well with 7 kills. Rhymetoll did a boatload of damage. He actually, by far, did the most damage in his team, because the rest of their team was honestly not that good either. There's like him and the Hellcat did over. They between them had like 4k damage. Not 4k. Oh, I can add this up for 6k damage. Wow. There were 2 other people that did over 1,000, and everyone else was like 700 or less, which is, you know, 700 odd. Not good, not good. So they kept their heads, and that Rhymetoll came through with full hit points, so they were basically always going to win. But it was an entertaining and fun ride while it was happening. So, before we wrap up this video, I've actually got a bit of bonus footage for you guys and gals, and this is from Bert's bigger brother, Fred, because I bet you didn't know Bert had a big brother, but he does, the FV304, which I talked a bit about at the beginning of the video. This is from a match I actually had earlier today, and yeah, it's not one I'd put up the full replay of, but this funny particular little moment happened, and, well, let's take a look and actually see. So here we are on Kampanovka, fairly standard sort of match, just doing what I can to support the team. There's a low health KV-1S there. I've got the 5.5 inch gun on this thing still, like I said. It's not particularly great. It's fast firing at least, but like the Bert gun, very little splash damage. Now, note on the enemy team list, there is still an ELC left alive. Note the minimap. Note the damage I've just taken. Yes, I've just been found by a scout. Unfortunately for him, he careened into the water, and I know that he's a very flat tank, and he's going to drown before I do. Now, he manages to get himself unstuck, but there we go. GG, Mr. ELC, I found that very amusing. I doubt he did somehow, but anyway. There's a danger I might become an actual scumbag player, you know, you guys, but it's unlikely. I have very few artilleries in my garage, and you just know by the time I get to the Conqueror gun carriage, the only CGC in the game that is in fact actually OP. They will have nerfed it anyway, I expect, because at the moment that thing is, yeah. But if I want that mastery, I've gotta do this, and yeah, no one's making me do it, but I do want it. So, if you enjoyed this video, you can hit the like button, you can leave a comment below, you can subscribe to my channel, and of course, as always, stay tuned for more.